Hey everybody, this is Peter Estes from Valley CAD, and this is Just a Thought Thursdays. So in a prior Tech Tip Tuesday video that I did, I showed you guys how you can start off a part file to create weldments. And with your weldments, instead of using 3D sketches, I was showing you guys how you can come in and create reference planes, and with those reference planes, apply equations to them, and then also make your sketches on those reference planes. Now this is how I used to do it all the time, and I still do it probably about 80% of the time, but it can be a little tedious at first, and as I used it more and more, I would actually make templates, a part template that would have all those planes predefined and the sketches pre-made for me. That way, if I say, hey, I need to make a new standard table size or something like that, or if I have certain framework that's meant for at a machine that I'm going to be making, those of you that might make conveyors all the times, or you have a standard footprint of a machine that you do, instead of having to remake these planes and sketches over and over again, it's much more useful to come in and make it as a part template first, and then each time you need to make that assembly or that part file or that machine, you can simply pull up that part template and you are off to the races. If you're not at that level where you're wanting to make your part templates yet, there's another way that I'm going to show you guys in this Just a Thought Thursdays that will allow you guys to create that same 3D looking sketch, but it's actually going to be a little bit quicker. And it has the same functionality to it. There's a couple other features that I will show you to make that work, but it actually is a little bit faster than what I showed in that Tech Tip Tuesday. If you are interested in that Tech Tip Tuesday video, highly recommend you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and with that you can see that we have a Tech Tip channel section, and it's actually our very first Tech Tip Tuesday. It was going in and creating weldments with reference planes. So without much further ado, let's jump into SOLIDWORKS and let's see what I'm talking about here. So looking at SOLIDWORKS here, you'll see that I have what I showed on Tech Tip Tuesday. What I originally started with was a right driving plane, and I extruded that off of my front plane. And then I made a left driven plane, and the reason why I call it driven is because this plane is actually being driven off of my right plane. What I did was I created an equation saying that the left plane is always double the distance of my right reference plane. That way, if I ever make any changes to my right plane, which is currently at 20, and I bump that up to, let's say, to 30, and I'll do a Control Q on that for a rebuild, it updates automatically for me. So this is a really nice feature to go at, and I also did that to my front and back plane. So it's front driving and back driven. And then I needed to know how high up my tabletop is, and so that's where I came in and made my tabletop plane and said make it 27 inches. From there, all I had to do was 3 different sketches. I made a sketch 1, which is on my right driving plane, and then sketch 2 is actually on my left driven plane, but what I did was I did an offset, or convert entities, sorry. I did convert entities off of my right plane onto the left plane. And then for sketch 3 is actually based off of my tabletop plane, and I just drew 2 simple lines. So it's a really useful tool to be able to do this, but you know, it probably takes about probably about a minute to 2 minutes to be able to make this structure. And if I had to do that every time, it adds up after a while. So that's why I was recommending at the beginning of this video, hey, if you got something like this, it's really useful to just come in here, do a save as, and instead of saving it as a part, you come in and you save it as a part template. So if you look 3 down, you see part templates there. It's going to automatically take you to the SOLIDWORKS default folder for all your part templates. I highly recommend that you create a custom folder to save this template in. If you have further questions regarding templates and how to make templates, feel free to shoot us an email. You could email me directly. It's peter.estes@valleycad.com. Hop onto our website, valleycad.com. You could also follow us on Facebook or Instagram, and on there you could shoot us messages as well. I'm very happy to show you guys how to do that, and I'll probably even do another Just a Thought Thursdays or Tech Tip Tuesday showing how to make part templates and organizing your files within a custom part templates folder and make SOLIDWORKS look to that location. So like I was saying, you want to save it as a part template. After you do that, this is always going to be a part template for you. So whenever you say come in and make a new file, you'll notice I have a lot of part templates. But if I made a new one and I saved under my ValleyCAD SOLIDWORKS Temp 2018 folder, that would show up right here, and I could just simply click on that, and every single time this same structure will show up for me. And then with that, I don't have to worry about making planes or sketches over and over again. So what if you don't do the part template route and you'd rather just come in and make a quick sketch every single time? Well, there's another way that you can make the same structure and actually be a little bit quicker. All right, so I'm going to switch over and make a new part file. Show you how you can do this. It's kind of the same process, but it's actually a quicker route, and I'm going to be using a solid body, and I'm going to do just a standard extruded boss base on it. Starting off, I'm going to come into my front plane, or sorry, my top plane, and do an extruded boss base. And from here, the whole premise of why I do those reference planes, how I was saying, was I like to keep my origin in the dead center of my part, about 95% of the time. So with this setup, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a rectangle sketch. I'm going to do a center corner, so a 2-point rectangle. So I'm going to start off at the origin. I'm just going to draw the rectangle out to the side like this. And from there, I'm going to come in and smart dimension it. And we'll say that I want the overall distance of this rectangle to be, let's say, 96 inches. And then I want the width of it to be, let's say, 48 inches. And then from there, I'm going to say OK to that. With that, what I'm going to do next is extrude this up a certain distance. I'm going to actually extrude it up 27 inches on this. Okay? So looking at this extrusion I did of just a standard block, it's going to look an awful lot like how I have this right here. If I came in and did my on my top plane, did the same extrusion, and did a simple rectangle like how I did on the last one, and we'll just extrude it out to there. And I want to extrude this up 27 inches. Notice how this is just a standard block. Okay, so that's what I'm doing on this side, on this new part file. Now from here, this is the kind of the fun part. So the whole reason why I was making reference planes to begin with was I don't want to use 3D sketches all the time. I'm able to use them, but sometimes they just get confusing, and it takes a lot to be able to come in and sketch on them. With SOLIDWORKS 2018, though, they made a lot of improvements with 3D sketches. Highly recommend that you get used to them. But this is more of just an entry level of trying to make your framework for a weldment. From here, what I want to do is come into my Sketch command tab. And under Sketch, I'm going to click on that drop down and say 3D Sketch. With my 3D Sketch activated, you don't have to pick planes or anything like that, or planes or planar planes. What you want to do is just pick edges. And with 3D Sketch, it's a 3D object. You don't have to worry about being 2D anymore. What I want to do is I want to use these edges of my box to make my new sketch lines. And these are going to be the lines that I'm going to tell my weldment profiles to follow. So under this, under the sketch command, I'm going to go to convert entities. From here, I can pick on faces and edges that I want to convert. So I'll say I want these two edges and this face. So the two front and back faces and the top edges in between. With that, if I say OK to this, you'll see that SOLIDWORKS automatically drops in lines on those edges that terminate the faces, and since I selected this edge and that edge, it made those lines as well. You don't have to pick the same faces that I did. Let's say you wanted to go the other route, where you say, I want this face, and this face, and this edge, and this edge. When you do that, you're going to get the exact same output. The only difference is that you have a bottom edge that's coming along here and here. So before I get out of the sketch though, what I want to do is delete these two lines because they're not needed, at least in my scenario. You might need them in your scenario, but not in this one. So when I'm done with that, I'll say OK and get out of the sketch. From there, I'm just going to hover over the body and push tab. What that does is that hides my Boss Extrude 1. Now looking at this looks an awful lot like what I did on my original Weldment sketch profiles by using reference planes. So looking at this, you can see that I had the same output. My dimensions are a little different, but I had the same output. I'm just pushing Control Tab to switch in between them so you can see what I'm talking about here. But going this route was extremely faster as compared to me coming in here saying, all right, I want my right plane to be 30 inches off from my front or my right plane. I want my left driven to be another 60 inches off from my right driving plane. So it took several more clicks to be able to do that. As compared to this route, all I had to do was do a standard Boss Extrude 1 and extrude it up however far I want, and then I did a 3D sketch. This 3D sketch is driven off of my Boss Extrude 1. Now, I've been asked, well, what are you going to do with that body? It's a body that's residing in your SOLIDWORKS part file. Not a problem. I'm going to do a Shift Tab to bring that body back. From this, what I would like to do next is actually delete this body. And when you use delete body, that is another feature that gets added to your design tree. Now, I came in and I use delete keep bodies all the time, so I made it as a quick reference icon or command on my features command ribbon. So if you don't have that set up that way, what you can do is in the top right corner, you see how mine says search commands. By default, it's set up on search SOLIDWORKS help. What I would recommend to do is come in here, click on a drop down arrow and select commands. What this does for you is it allows you to type in a command saying like, I want to find delete keep bodies. If I start typing in delete, you'll see that SOLIDWORKS pops up and it will start populating all these different features that might have these letters mixed in with it, like delete. And so looking at my first two hits, you see delete face and delete keep body. Well, you could simply click on any of these icons and it will automatically activate the command for you. Or you can say, I want to start remembering where this is. If I click on the eyeball there, that's a show command. I took my hand off the cursor. SOLIDWORKS automatically takes control of your mouse, moves it to wherever that feature is located, if it's on your command ribbon up on top, or if it's actually in a insert features and let's say rib. So it will take your cursor and point it to where it's going to be located. Now, also, if you're saying, all right, I want to use this command over and over again, what you can do is actually click and drag that command over onto your command ribbon. And you drop it wherever you want. So if I came here and I said, I want it there, you'll see that it dropped that command on that quick access bar for me. Really convenient. But you'll see here that I have double of that. So maybe I don't need both of them. I only need one of them. Not a problem. If you want to get rid of a command off your command ribbon, you can just hold down Alt, click, and drag. You'll see that I got a red X next to my cursor. It's saying, hey, if you let go, it's going to remove this feature off of your command ribbon. Not a problem. That's what I want it to do. So delete keep bodies. What this does is it deletes or keeps one or more solid or solid bodies in your part file. So by me coming in and saying delete keep body, I want to activate the delete command, and the body I want to delete is that one. Now if I right click, you'll see that SOLIDWORKS says there is no more of a solid body in my part file. And you might be going, okay, but what if I want to come back and edit this in some way? You know, I want to make it to where this isn't 96 inches. I want to make it so it's 48 inches. Do a Control Q. Well, if you just notice as I was talking about it, I was able to do that because this delete keep body is after the fact. This feature is still in my design tree, so I can still go in and edit that feature. So this makes it really useful, and what you can do from here is treat it like a standard weldment. So if I go to weldments here, structural member, and we'll say keep it on the wood 2x4 application. I'll come in here, click on that phase or edge and that edge, say OK to that. Create a new group, and we'll click on this edge, and this edge. And let's make it so that the locate profile is going to be on the inside. And also on group 1, I want to make sure that's on the inside as well. Good, it is. And then from there, I'll say OK. Or maybe let's make a new group. Come in here, click here and here. I can't really make it to where this could be the same group, because remember, if I come in and say locate profile and I say I want it here, well, that's going to be offset to the outside. That looks good there, but I really want this to be on the inside. Oh shoot, when I do that, that pushes this off to the outside. So that's why I can't do these two lines as one group. So I'll simply come in and see which line is that. That looks like it is line 39. Delete that. I'll say new group again. Click on this line. Locate profile. I want it to be on the inside. And we'll say OK to that. All right. So now that we see this, I hope this helps you guys out with being able to see how else you can make technically 2D sketches by using the 3D sketch command, but quickly make a 3D sketch. On this, it's a pretty useful tool. I utilize it a lot. I find it being much faster than coming in and creating multiple reference planes. So once again, looking at this for Just a Thought Thursdays, if you are using this all the time and you prefer using planes to drive your sketches, do this and make a part template out of it. If you don't like using reference planes and you'd rather keep it standard with or simple with a Boss Extrude 1 feature like that, you can do it this way as well. And then you activate the 3D sketch command and you convert the entities of the edges that you want to convert in your 3D sketch. And it's all driven off of Boss Extrude 1. So if I make any changes on this, let's say I want this 48 to be 60 now, do Control Q, updates. If I say, you know what, I don't want this to be 27 inches, I'd rather have this be at 30. Let's make it a little bit taller, Control Q, it updates just nicely there. So hopefully you guys get a little kick out of this for Just a Thought Thursdays. If you have questions, feel free to shoot me an email. You can email me directly. It's peter.estes@valleycad.com. Like us on Facebook as well as Instagram. You can follow us on there @valleycad. Also, follow us on YouTube here. So click subscribe, give us thumbs up, please. Also, check out our other channels the other videos that we have uploaded on YouTube. We are also on Twitch, so we like to do live streaming on some items that we are currently designing. This video that you're watching right now on YouTube was also done as a live stream on Twitch. So we try to do a Just a Thought Thursdays every Thursday, and we also do Tech Tip Tuesdays every Tuesday. So hopefully you guys get a good idea of how to create your weldment profiles by seeing our Tech for Tip Tuesdays on creating weldments using reference planes, as well as with this Just for Thought Thursdays. So have a great rest of the day, guys, and remember, learn something new.